filming people while they perform. If you don't want that, please let me know. I'm putting this live on Facebook, and some people are watching. Yeah. And I have the experience that those videos get watched a lot, so if you don't like to be filmed while you're performing, please let me know. Next up is Martin, our very first stand-up comedian tonight. I'm very excited. We are also a home, not a home maybe, but what is it called when you put kids to a boarding school for stand-up comedians? They come here when they get sick of their own stuff. Okay, so yeah, Martin, I'm very excited. I hope you guys have a good laugh.
So hello everyone, I'm Martin. I'm from Poland. I see some fear on your faces. Well, don't worry, I already looked for all of your stuff. I have some things here. Let's see. I got a cell phone and a watch. Whose is it?
Yours, I think.
Sorry. The watch was already broken, so sorry. You see, that's exactly the reason why I'm here in Vienna and not in Poland. I have a disease called conscious. My hands were perfectly normal, like Polish hands do. They're just grabbing stuff and thinking about it. But as soon as I grab something, the disease kicks in and says to me, no, give it back. You see, I was always a little bit weird. I remember in middle school, I was new in school, everybody knew each other, and I was just standing there and thinking, well, what to do to prove myself, to show that I'm fun and cool, even if I'm not really. So we had sports at this day, and I thought that's going to be my opportunity, even if I'm not good at sports. So we played football, of course, and to prove that I can play football without even playing football, I thought I'm going to play as a goalie. It worked pretty well for a while, but then the other team, we kicked their asses, like Germany-Brazil style, so really, really bad. So we were, I don't know, 10-3 winning or something like that. So the other team got, of course, frustrated. The other goalie kicked the ball one time high in the air. The striker of the other team started to run, and we were all like 13 or 14 years old, but this guy looked already like Wayne Rooney. So a big guy running towards me without the ball. And I'm just thinking, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna stand there, just wait what's gonna happen. And that's exactly the same thought that everyone else had. So I was just standing there alone and hoping that somebody will help me, but nobody did. So that's what I'm seeing. In the air, the ball flying like a missile, and on the ground, this guy who's running like an unstoppable train. The guy grabs the ball, and everything starts to be in slow motion. I'm seeing like his leg swings back as high as his head. And then it comes back. And as soon as he kicked the ball, I'm hearing a cannon fire. And the ball starts flying towards me. And I'm just thinking, well, that's it. That's how I'm going to die. So the ball hits me, of course, right in the chest, bounces somewhere off. I'm going down. I can't move. I can't breathe. I'm just lying there and groaning. Everybody starts running towards me and asking if I'm okay. Of course I'm not okay. Fucking far from okay. Finally, the teacher comes at me, strolling, his hands in his pockets. Just nothing happened. Looks at me and asks me just one simple question. Ambulance or priest? Yeah. You know, it's pretty weird for me here to stand in front of you all, because mostly when I'm with my friends, I'm the one who never talks. I'm just sitting there and listening, observing, gathering intel. You could say I'm practically a woman. Well, actually, you know how when a man says that he's a woman trapped in a man's body, those are transsexuals, right? Well, I've got a thing that even doesn't have a name yet. I'm going to try to explain it to you. I hope you're going to understand what I mean. So, I'm a lesbian trapped in a man's body who still wants to be a man. The lesbian part is pretty clear. I'm a woman who still loves a woman. Trapped in a man's body is a little bit more tricky. I like to be a man, but I don't like the opinion that most women have about men. I'm going to talk about this a little bit later. And still wants to be a man is pretty clear because, let's face it, it's much easier to be a man than a woman in this world. To add all of this problematic of mine, I'm an old school gentleman, which for most of all of you doesn't sound bad. It's actually a good thing. Well, for me it's not, because I'm a really old school gentleman. I remember one time I had a date with a girl. We were meeting at a bar or something, I don't quite remember. I remember just seeing her at the bar, going towards her. She stretched her arm to greet me. So I'm grabbing her hand, but I'm not shaking it like everybody else would. No, I'm bowing down, which was for me perfectly normal. For her, not really, because she took her hand back, slapped me across my face, screamed "pervert," and ran away. I was just standing there and didn't even know what happened. But I thought, okay, kissing hand is bad. So the next time I'm meeting another girl, I knew, okay, kissing hand is bad. So I didn't do that, and it was great evening, great date, we had much fun. But then, towards the end, she says, well, I have to go home. I said, okay, I'll bring you home. After I said that, she slapped me for no reason at the time for me, and said, who do you think you are? And ran away. The kissing hand thing I quite understood, but this thing I didn't understand at all, so I told a friend of mine the story and he thought, well, it's pretty obvious. She thought they wanted sex. I thought, how could she thought that? Well, it's this rule, unwritten rule that I didn't know, that when a guy brings a girl home, he expects sex. Well, for me, I didn't know that, so I just thought I liked her, so I wanted to bring her safely home. That was it, that was the whole thing. Yeah, well, in school it was even much harder because I was a nerd. Really huge nerd. I knew everything about comic books, movies, and video games. And you know how nerds can cheat on tests? Not that we don't want to, we just can't. And I'm a prime example of this. I remember in high school we had an English test, and there was this task where to translate some words from German into English. So I'm seeing this word immer, and I'm thinking, okay, that's always, and I'm writing it down. And suddenly I hear a noise. Psst. I thought I imagined it, so I ignored it. But then again, louder and longer. Psst. I looked up, looked at my teacher, looked at my classmates around me. Nobody saw any reaction, so I ignored it again and get back to the test. But then again, but this time with my name attached. Psst, Martin. I'm looking back. I'm seeing my best friend looking at me with those hopeful eyes and trying to say to me as quiet as he can, but also as clear as he can, Emma. I look at him, I look at my teacher, I nod and say, Aris. What? Always. What? Always. What? And then the teacher, always!